What is good, guys? Today I'm gonna make a video about another video actually about army groups, and this is how I run army groups, specifically the heavy army group, heavy group. In my alliance, we called a super heavy, a mix of super heavy and artillery, the heavy group. It's a mix of both. We also run only super heavy group and artillery group when we are many online this time. Not many of us are online, and I'm a little bit bored, so I want to eliminate a few bases in order to progress our building. So I know I made a video about army groups. If you didn't watch it, look for it in my collection. Now I'm going to tell you how I run things, and if you look carefully at the group, you will notice I don't have any BM or rocket truck. It's a good unit. The problem I have with the rocket truck is it's a much faster unit, and since super heavies and howitzer are really slow, you kind of have to police them separately, make sure they don't go at the front line, because if they go at the front line without any heavy armor support, they will get attacked and you will lose those units quite fast. If you noticed, I set up my plane, I set up a tag. Right now I'm alone managing that whole group. Ideally, you want a group of fast tank, either light or medium, to make sure that you will not get ambushed. And while I say that, I get ambushed. He's awake, he's aware, he's gonna try to stop me, or at least do some damage. Thankfully, this base is almost done. And when you burn land and a burnout base come to heal the village, it's a sign that it's the end. It's the beginning of the end. They have nobody online as well to make some resistance. And as you can see, I bring some heavy armor at the front always. And even if one person can control all the units at once, you may have to, depending of the path they take, you may want to bring heavy armor in the front. And now you see I'm getting ambushed. This guy just jumped, another guy jumped as well. I'm gonna try to set myself in a corner. I don't want to get exposed. And this guy already lost almost 2 complete troops. Now they bring bombers. Thank God I have my fighter, so I can at least limit the damage. So when I'm under a lot of pressure, I'm not gonna wait and standing there forever. I'm gonna get down to business, burn that base in a timely fashion to avoid any excessive damage. Now this guy is already done, which is awesome. For a reason, he brings his artillery, and even though the super heavy is quite slow, he's so close I can finish him. Boom, there you go. So now I have this mountain protected me. I'm gonna choose wisely the direction in which order I will burn bases. Naturally, I will start by burning the weaker one. And as you can see, sometimes when you press, when you want to choose a path or choose a waypoint, not a waypoint, but a destination, should I say, the units, they don't always behave like you want. So you have to sometimes manually select a single unit and make sure it doesn't take a stupid detour, if I can say. So now I bring some heavy armor to protect, backed up by artillery so I don't get exposed. This artillery is doing a nice job killing those tanks. I'm gonna take out this artillery on my right, green. There you go. On the left as well. That guy obviously doesn't quite understand how to approach an army group. Even if I'm taking damage, I still have some strong howitzer. There you go. So that guy, he died almost instantly. He's gonna stand there waiting till I finish him off. And this guy wants another go. My artillery is already pre-charged, which is not the smartest move. You do not want to approach a howitzer pre-charge. In 2 salvos, he can take you out, so you have to be careful with that. Boom. Okay. And now this guy, because he didn't think about his attack, he's almost done. His base is quite weak, and you have absolutely almost no troops inside protecting his base. So I'm gonna creep slowly. I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna initiate the attack, and I will unleash the fury. So even if the base is striking some howitzer, he doesn't have enough firepower to do some significant damage. So that's it. It's like drinking Kool-Aid, almost gone instantly. So you see this near the burning village, a fast group. I'm gonna call for more support. And I talked about it in my previous video, but I didn't feel like I talk enough. So when you reinforce or train more troops, make sure that they're not those reinforcement, those single units, as you can see. Make sure that they're not going through a hot zone. So a base will just pick them off one by one, and you will have you will do this for nothing. So always keep an eye on those reserves. So you can see I have many dead troops with 0, and if the member is offline, I will just flush them, so more players will send their troops. It's no use to keep a slot with a dead troop. And now this guy, he's healing the village. It's quite a weak base, and he's already done, so why not?
We express ourselves with bombs.
If you guys are not running army groups, you should. And before you say, I'm not good at it, I get killed quite a lot, I lose many reserve. Well, if you don't practice, you'll never be good. A trick is to start with a smaller group, like 5 units, 6 units, 7 units, and work your way up, okay? Keep in mind that when you have a mix of fast and slow unit, don't send them far away at once. Go step by step, because if they travel a long distance, that group will stretch. It will get weaker or more or easier to attack. So make sure that you either have some units of the same speed. If you have a mix of them, like I say, go step by step. Do small. Go a smaller distance, and keep an eye on your troops, because when you play any theater of conquest map, Moscow, San Francisco, you have to keep in mind that you have at least 254 enemies lurking or watching you. You don't know that, but they are, and they just wait for the right moment to ambush you. Okay, so I said 254, 254, but they're much more. I'm just talking like one team versus another team. Okay, so there's many people online you don't know that is waiting for the right moment to ambush you or attack you. So keep in mind that don't leave your troops unattended. Always keep an eye on them. This way you will lose much less. This guy is it's such a weak base that I may just bomb this guy. The Vanguard is not quite the best plane for bombing base. As you know, the B-29 is the best one, but since it's quite a weak base and it's already burned out, this bomber will do the trick. So the groups we usually run, the heavy, which is a mix of super heavy, heavy armor, and artillery. We run a fast group, which is a mix of light and medium. We can run light group, light tank. We can run medium tanks. As for the BM or the rocket truck, like I said, personally I think it's a bad mix in the heavy group. I like to use them with a group of medium tanks because both have the same rolling speed, so it's quite easy to manage them. You don't risk of having those weaker units being alone or separate from the medium tanks. And this guy kind of did a favor. He went outside, tried to attack me. Now his base is defenseless. I will flush him out in a few seconds. That's it. And this game is going into that direction where army groups rules the battlefield. If you set up a central command, if you want to conduct an attack, you have to set up groups. Okay, you cannot inflict enough damage with only one or two tanks. Make a group, create a group, identify your group, either a tank or artillery or a mix of both. Either way, create a group, practice, and people will just send you units. And the more you practice, the better you get. It's easy to practice, and in a few with a few try, you get good at it. So what you see me doing, you see this guy try to ambush me again. And when this happened, I know that before, I don't know when exactly they changed the rules, but I remember when somebody dropped, you could block before he would drop or as he drops. Now you cannot do that anymore. If you try to block him, you will attack him before he lands. For you, he's not yet landed, but he is. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. There's basically, you cannot block him when he's landing. Just wait as he lands. When he does, if he doesn't base, you can try to block his base, block his trucks to prevent him from building his base. If you fail doing so, don't attack him. Position your group so you don't get So the artillery will not be the unit that gets attacked first, because if that happens, you will lose. You could lose all your troops depending of the base and the skill set of the enemy. Okay. So this guy, even if his base got destroyed, he played it well. He knew that his base was not strong enough to withstand, so he risked his unit to try to kill my units, and he didn't care about his base. He kind of did a sacrifice, but I think he did an okay job despite his failure. He took quite a few units. So that's, I mean, it would fail anyway. But if you know you would fail, try to take out more units. I mean, that's how I see it. So once again, I'm getting rid of dead units, so more people will jump in. And this is kind of the boring part of the game. When you burn a village, you have to guard it, make sure that nobody attempts to repair it, fix it. If they do, then you have to deploy your troops and burn that base. And it's 45 minutes minimum. You see now I'm at 42 minutes, but we all know that it never takes 45 minutes. There will always be people trying to save the village. And like I said, it's kind of the aspect of the game I don't like, because it's boring. It's kind of a waiting game, but it is what it is. And if you want to do a good job, you have to commit to it. If you burn a village and shut down the game, somebody will heal until the village is 100% fixed, and now you have to do it all over again. So if you want to do it, make sure you do it at the end until the village is burned out. So this process doesn't take 3 hours. Of course, if you have nobody online, then there's nothing much you can do. But if you observe one army, there's 1, 2, maybe 3 army groups. And yeah, the video's over. So there's at least 2 army groups, and there's a massive amount of units, right? So you don't need much people online. And this game, what's good about this is you can log in even if you don't have time to play. You send your troops to somebody you know that you will take good care of them, and that's it. You right away 2 players. That means 10 units, 10 potential units that you control yourself. And not 10, 10 units that you can control by yourself. So it makes a huge difference. A very few player can deploy a massive amount of units, and that will make the task much easier to accomplish. Guys, if you have any question, like usual, hit me in the comments. I hope you like the video. More content will come, and have a great weekend.